412.
Veteran crisis hotline's calling in, so they have a female veteran off her medication. She's over at the safe haven. Check in 12, we'll check that one out.
6 Rumble, 2 1 star, 50 shots.
Officer still stands for time? No. Offender in custody? I'm sorry.
There we go. Good evening. There we go. Good evening. Thank you all for hopping in tonight. There's a few things that I want to discuss before we get into the show this evening. Rosie's mom is doing a little better. For any of you that were asking, I know there's a lot of you asking. Rosie's mom's doing better. She had to take care of her again today, so I think we're starting the deep dive. We were going to start it this morning, but I think we're going to start it tomorrow morning. We're actually going to break it into different sections, so it is going to be a multi-part series deep dive. So we'll be starting episode 1 tomorrow, and we're going to focus on key parts as we go through. So look for that tomorrow. Also, I don't know what's up. I mean, it looks like we're all blocked from JP's videos, so whatever that's about, I sincerely apologize if you were offended in any way. Didn't mean any harm by it. I've been wanting to try and get in contact with you. I've been wanting to try and sit down and have a real conversation where you ain't got to worry about the other person shaking, being scared. But also having a real down-to-earth conversation. Anybody that sat and has talked to me, understands. I come from, all sides. I look at everything thoroughly, and I just try to be as down to earth as I possibly can be, because I feel, why mess around with the BS? It takes longer, and we ain't got that long here, so why not just skip it and let's just be cool? Let's just have a conversation. So I don't know if it has to do with something else. I know he's upset with something else, particularly protest-wise. Nothing that anybody's doing at the protest. We're not doing anything wrong. I think it's just certain people that are there, and maybe that might be creating some of the desire to not allow. I mean, because really, if you think about it, with our access being blocked to hearing what JP comes out with next, wouldn't you want everybody to hear your message? Wouldn't you want everybody to hear what you have to say, whether they agree with it or not? I don't know. I would think that you would, there's plenty of people out there that don't agree with us. It is what it is. We've never came into their homestead or their comfort or their atmosphere and created any kind of negativity or anything. So, who knows? I don't know. Maybe it'll change. I just want to say, Mr. JP, I do apologize. I don't know what I did. Reach out to me, 330-510-1110. I don't know what I did, but I would like to apologize. And maybe, because I would love to hear what you continue to have to say. I think it's important, for sure. Also, when it comes to, we got reached out to, Thursday night, Friday morning, somewhere around there. We got reached out to, and it was a very interesting email address. It looked like a business email address, and so I thought it was one of these emails that you get these emails from all sorts of creators or whatever, and And they're like, hey, I can make you thumbnails. Hey, I can make you, whatever, whatever. And I thought it was just one of those things, just based off the email address. But the next day, Friday, I opened it up and I got to looking, and it was kind of interesting because the night before, there was some things that came across our desks, me and the team. There was some things that came across our desk Thursday evening that we started to look into. And Friday, I was reached out, and that's when I looked at the email, and I was like, oh, wow, very interesting. Okay. And so, therefore, and they also contacted the show number. And so I reached back out to them, and we've had discussions over the last few days. So when it comes to a certain individual that is telling a story that is not necessarily a story that is true, or number two, a story that is desired from all of those people involved to even be discussed, okay? And it has to do with Mica. So I've been having conversations, and she gave me the okay. I've been having conversations with Tom's ex-wife, Tammy, Jeremy's mother. I've been having conversations with her, whether it was through text, email, phone conversations. So I want to say that I'm going to be talking about something coming up here in the near future. And I'm not going to have anything that I'm not trying to take away from the Mica Miller case. You're going to hear a conversation between myself and a couple other people here in the near future. You're gonna hear a conversation. You're gonna hear a lot of the stuff that's being talked about in this conversation. You're gonna see documentation of things that have to do with this conversation. And so Abigail, Mica's sister, reached out to me earlier today. I reached back out. And we'll be having a conversation either tonight or tomorrow. But I just want everybody to understand, when it comes to your questions, okay, about who hasn't been on the show the last couple days. We had somebody on the show for a couple days, and they haven't been here for a couple days. And I see a lot of you have been asking the last couple days. Well, there was discussions being had in the background, and I was busy with those before I even wanted to answer any of that. And so what I'm going to say is that here in the near future, you're going to hear a conversation with myself and a couple people about the reality of the situation. You're going to hear a conversation about the truth, I suppose, is a better way to put it. The truth about family of Mica, and things that are actually true and not true. And so there's going to be a conversation. Now, when we showed up at the protest yesterday, yesterday morning, as soon as we showed up at the protest, there was protesters coming up to me asking if I've heard the audio. Did you hear the audio of so and so? And I was like, no, I haven't. I just been working. I did get a document dump of a whole bunch of files, audio recordings, all sorts of stuff. Now, that's not up for me that's not up for me to put out there, and that's going to be coming from those people. But we will share those. But it's going to be more about a conversation about what's been told, what is true, and what is not. And so I think it's going to be very informative. The This person, Tammy, uh, asked, about the platform, and I kind of explained to her what we do and how we do it over here, and she understands, and both her and her partner have nothing but support for the show. Know that it's all about Mica. That's all it'll ever be. And they also understand we're just trying to do whatever we can do for the family, the loved ones, Mica, and everybody involved. And so I think it's going to be a very informative conversation for you. I think it's going to be a very touching conversation for you. And I think it's really going to help you understand all of this stuff that's involved. Now, like I said, I'm not going to take away from Mica's case, so it's not going to be an episode where you see Mica's picture on the thumbnail. It's not going to be an episode where it has the hashtag Mica Miller as one of the top 3 that show up on the description. But does it have to do with Mica? Yes, it does. Does it have to do with the stories that have been put out there? Some of them about Mike? Yes, it does. But we're not going to take away from it. Just like I explained to Tammy, I said, we're not even going to share pictures, not even going to be on the thumbnail. But I want everybody to understand. And that's why I'm telling you here. I want everybody to understand because some of the stories have been taking place here amongst out there on social media. Okay. So it's about letting you guys know, look, you've already been in the shows. You've already been out there in the community. You've already heard some of these stories being put out there. But you also deserve to know the truth. But we also have to treat it with respect and not take away from the focus of Mica. And that's why I'm going to be making it separate. And I'm just letting you guys know because you have heard these stories. Tammy is the ex-wife of Tom. Tammy is Jeremy's mother. Jeremy and Mica were married before Mica and JP. So Tammy is Jeremy's mother. Tammy is Jeremy's mother. We had a great conversation today. That one lasted 2 hours today. But and I'm going to be having Mica's sister Abigail. We're going to be having a conversation tonight or tomorrow, and so I'm going to fill you in more tomorrow with that because it's very important. Like I said, this is about what the family wants. This is about whatever direction, whatever path, whatever questions, whatever. This is about Mica. This is about them. And so it's whatever they desire, whatever they want. And yes, thank you, Tammy. If you're watching this evening, I want to say thank you for your comfort because the stories are very touching and it takes a lot of strength. Jeremy is Mica's first husband, Grace. You know she was married before JP, right? So that'll be coming soon. But I wanted to let you guys know about that. So look for that other episode coming soon for that as well. I'm just going to tell you, excuse me, these sinuses, man. I'm just going to tell you that some of this stuff that's being put out there in social media is not true. I'll just put it that way. Okay. All right. And I want to say, Gigi, I got the bracelet in the envelope today. I was just going to throw it in the mailbox, but I saw the address, so I got to go to the actual post office to see how many stamps I need to slap on that envelope. So tomorrow, that'll be going out tomorrow. It's already in the envelope. I was just going to put it in the mailbox, flip the little thing up, but then I was like, oh, nope, we got to go to the post office for that one. So thank you all for hopping in tonight. Now, just because we don't have access, because me and the whole team have been blocked. Me and the whole team have been blocked. I don't know. But it doesn't mean that other people like Robert Harvey doesn't check it out, right? So, and we like Robbie Harvey. JP says he stinks. I just assume he doesn't. I mean, I don't know. I've never hung around him, but I can just assume that. I mean, he looks pretty well put together, right? So, I don't know what. And, we already know JLR, he does investigate, unlike what JP said, not investigates. We already know he does. But there's a couple things I want to get into. So first, I'm going to share this for you guys. And let me switch the layover here for you. So if you want to scan for that, yeah, shout out JLR. So if you want to scan for that, make sure you have that 4-digit code up there, okay? Now, when it comes to the Venmo, you're going to need the 4 digits. The 4 digits is 2632. And also the GoFundMe. I don't know, excuse me, I don't know about the bracelets anymore. I know that with the GoFundMe, you would get one. I'm not sure how it's working. So, I'm not sure. I've got mine a few weeks ago. But yeah, definitely go ahead and scan it if you would like to contribute to their efforts. And you know how hard the family's working. You know how hard the family's working when it comes to trying to find the truth and the justice for Mica, because that's what it's about. That's why we do what we do. It's like I told Tammy today. I said, we do what we do, and my career doing what I'm doing is trying to help make sure there's not another victim, no matter what case we're talking about, no matter who we're talking about, no matter what we're talking about when it comes to what we're talking about. It's about not another one, right? Awesome. You rock. Thank you so much. Lisa Save the Bees. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. What's up, Nana? Yes, it was hot as hell today, too. I was out and about rushing, and I was just like, whoo. But you know what? It's still better than where the homestead is. It's crazy out there. All right. I wanted to share that. And thank you again yesterday for coming to hang out, Nana. That was really cool. Appreciate it very much. All right. So, just like the thumbnail, and just like I was saying last night, by the way, we're going to be starting our deep dive tomorrow when it comes to Mica Miller. Everything. Okay? Everything. We're going to be starting that tomorrow. prayers to Rosie's mom that she starts to feel better. She's still a little, but she's getting there. So we're going to check out some of these Nathan Brewer posts now. The team had sent these to me. Gosh, I don't know. How long was it? 6 days ago, 5 days ago. I want to apologize. We're getting to this stuff so late. We're just so busy, and with these long drives, it's definitely a task trying to keep up and stay up on everything. And so that's why sometimes we do these long shows. But I wanted to read a couple of these posts. I think it's crazy when you hear, I know JLR covered it a little bit the other day. Shout out again, JLR. Magnolia as well. I know they covered a little bit of it the other day, and it's crazy stuff, right? So we're going to go through those. Just like the thumbnail, we're going to watch JP talking. He's talking some more. I don't know. I'm hearing he had some more stuff after this one. Is this true? He had some more stuff after the one with the orange t-shirt. And then we're going to be covering a little bit of Chris Skinner. It's what I was talking about last night. I said, after the conversations I was having with some of the people, here, let me throw that up there. When I was having some of the conversations with some of the people yesterday at the protest, they were discussing, it was some friends and neighbors of Chris Skinner that were talking to me as well. And one of them was telling me that she wants to talk. She wants to talk. She wants to be on the show and talk. She's wanting to talk to her other friend to see if she'd be willing to talk, because these are neighbors of Chris, friends of Chris. And she reached out to me and I felt so bad for her, because you could hear the passion in her voice when she was talking about how it's so fishy and she just doesn't believe it. And she watches our show and she knows how hard we work for these families, and she wants to, and I'm just like, hey, whenever you're comfortable, you just tell me, like I tell everybody. It's why I'm everywhere, Bill CJ. Hey, it's your schedule. You name the time, you name the day, you name the location. It's yours, That's why it's, important that I'm able to do this 24/7, because I can literally make their schedule my schedule. And that's the important thing about it. And the important thing why, when it comes to your contributions to the show, is because that's what allows me to be able to do that. It allows me to be able to say, you know what, this family member, hey, that I'm there 10 minutes early, so I just want to say thank you to everybody that also contributes to the show, because you allow me to be able to do that for these families. And it's very important that we can do that, because they're so busy already. They're so busy. They have so many things going on. And the last thing is that, there'd be some kind of conflict of schedule. And so that's why it's important. And I really do appreciate it from the heart, because when you can give the effort that I give to these families, and the work, and just being consumed with everything to do with finding the truth for them, it's important to be able to have that opportunity, because it allows us to be able to give the 150. It allows us to give the 150. So thank you for your recycle of love. All right, so we're going to check out this video first here. Now, we got a screen record, okay? We got a screen record, but I'm gonna check out. I just can't believe we all got blocked, you guys. What the hell? You know what I mean? Like, what did we do? Did we really do something that bad? Did we really do something that bad where we got blocked? All of us, the whole damn team, they singled every one of us out and freaking put the shutdown on it, man. The whole team. The whole team. Oh, it's a Hey, it's a beachy place. It's a beachy place. You gotta be beachy. It's hot as hell. Trust me, there's no way I could work. Maybe later on tonight I'll be able to wear a hoodie, but I'm telling you right now, there is no way in hell I could wear a hoodie down here. But you know what? I'm loving it. I'm loving it. So no, it's not that I'm getting that much. Okay. Remember a long time ago when I told you guys I only know how to do a live show. I don't know how to set up a freaking studio. So when it comes to my lighting, I don't know how to set up. Look, I just turn the damn things on. If I show up, I show up. I told you guys for a long time, like my lighting is way too bright. So it's not that I'm getting this crazy tan, you guys. It's my lighting at home at the studio. I don't know. It's just, I don't know. It's like way too damn bright. So it just makes me all bright as hell. I don't know. I don't know. Well, that's cool, Heather. Not hoodie. No, it's not. It's not. 57 degrees, Caddy. What the hell kind of storm you got going on up there in the Northwest? What the hell? What's up, Angie? Tiffany, me and the whole team got blocked from having access to JP's source for uploading all of his videos. And I didn't even do nothing. Listen, I'm not even on TikTok. Like, I've made a TikTok. I don't, listen, I don't, it's just there for me to be able to communicate, because when I came down here and started doing the work for Mica Miller, a lot of the people that I'm in contact with are around TikTok. So really that's like a lot of that's where that's how most everyone messages so on there for this case. And so I'm like, hey, because you guys, I never wanted to get a damn TikTok. I was always against getting a TikTok, but when I came down here, I was like, hey, I have to, because there's too many people that use that to be able to communicate with me when it comes to this case. So that's why I got a TikTok, but really I just upload a couple videos. Other than that, I'm just communicating. So I don't know. We never went to one of their shows. We never left a comment. I never even said anything bad about the person or anything. So I don't know. Why would we all? And it's not just me. It's not just me. It was the whole team. They singled out every single team member and blocked us all. That's why I said I sincerely apologize from the heart. Whatever we did, call me, man. I want to talk about it. It's not going to be aired. It won't. None of that stuff. I want to hear some. Because listen, I know he's watching, so at least that I talked to Tammy. All right, you know what I mean. You know that I talked to Tammy, dude. So come on, you know what I mean. Come on. Not that she told me anything about you. It was a different conversation about some other stuff that we're gonna, have a conversation more of coming here, and I think everybody should listen to it. I think everybody should pay attention to the conversation, because it's not only about this case, but it's also about people that might be going through the same thing, and I think it's going to be very informative, and I think it's going to help a lot of people. I really do. And I want to thank them for their comfort and their strength. I do care, Grace, because listen, I'm trying to. Is he not okay? Sorry, I keep going in and out. It's the sun's changing. No, I want to talk to him too because I want to hear his side. I mean, whether we believe this or believe that, isn't it important? I mean, let's be honest, everybody. Isn't it important to hear all sides? Isn't it important to hear all sides, no matter what? No matter what we think, feel, you know? There's plenty of cases that I talk about on here where I feel a certain way and I don't even say exactly how I feel sometimes because I also, it's like a journalist, I also have to also promote all theories, thoughts, and opinions. I also have to promote every side of the story, right? No matter what I feel or think. No matter what I feel or think. I need some Allegra or Benadryl. Why? Because of my sinuses? I'm just saying it's important. So that's why I'm like I really am. I really do apologize because I don't know what the hell I did to either one of them to be blocked. The whole team, y'all, not just me, the whole team got blocked. For what? So yeah, I apologize for whatever. I mean, I wanted to talk before, but I really want to talk now because it's like, yo, what did we do? You know? You know what I mean? Like tell me. At least tell me and then I can tell you where I'm coming from or something, you know? We can like actually have a resolution or something because I think it's I don't want listen, I don't want to have to go to Robbie Harvey to hear what JP has to say. I don't want to have to go to Robbie Harvey. Why can't I just go, you know? I think so. For real. The phone line is always there. Even if I'm doing a show, you can leave a voicemail, like whatever. You can trust me. I'm not going to put shit out there. Just like people that I run across that are cool with. I also, hey, can you put it on mute? Yeah. Can you not have me? Yeah. I mean, hell, at the protest yesterday, how much was I actually able to talk to you guys on the microphone? 80% of the time, I had to, because there's a lot of stories, a lot of people connected, a lot of people that went there, a lot of people that live around there. I was having a lot of conversations. And that's what it is. It's about soaking it all up. Jim Baker. I don't know. No, but I think I don't know. I just don't understand because even if we don't agree, if you feel you're right, why wouldn't you want your message to be broadcasted to as many people? And that's where I'm coming from. So it's like, yo, I don't know what I did. Was it my Stewart video? Was it me starting the next show off with Stewart, your face on Stewart? If it's that, I'll take the video down. The video ain't worth it the video with the crying and the Stewart and Elmo, I'll take it down. I'll take it down. Like, why can't we just, like, or like, what if I have a stance on something and it's like, hey, I don't like this and this. And I'm like, well, this is where I was coming from, man. This is where I was coming from, right? At least if there's communication. If you have communication, then there's no confusion. And I think it's important because, look, I'm trying to find the right thing too. I'm just trying to find the damn truth, right? I'm just trying to find the truth. And if you have communication, then there's no confusion. I don't want him to be confused as to why, boom, block the whole team. Maybe if you heard where I was coming from, or maybe if I heard where you were coming from, there could be a resolution and we could have a good time. You know what I mean? Because come on, man, anybody that's ever sat down and talked with me, anybody that's ever sat down and talked with me for a length of time already understands, like, yo, you are like one of the most level-headed, down to earth. You look at everything from every angle. You know, you're chill. You know, you're to the point. You know, like it's never a dull conversation. You know what I mean? Like I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't know what I did. I would reach out to me. You know, we could have a conversation where I'm getting ready to make a Philly cheesesteak sub or something, and you're like, hey man, you got time to? Yeah, what's up? You know, it could be like that. I'm getting ready to make a Philly cheesesteak. You know, getting ready to sit down and eat some food or something. You know what I mean? Like, it don't have to be like, hey, I'm live. Hey, come on, let's do it. You know, I just want to understand, like, what's up. But we're going to have to do that, okay? So here's the video. Robbie Harvey here. I'm going to share his channel link. So go sub to him if you're not. JP, I apologize. Go sub to him if you're not.
But we got through it.
And we're going to check out this latest video. This is discussing March 11th. And I want to say thank you to Abigail for reaching out to me. I appreciate you. And I can't wait till we're able to talk. I really do appreciate your comfort for doing that. And thank you to everybody out there doing whatever they can do to keep the awareness, bring the awareness, and maintain the awareness, okay? Because the awareness is what's going to make a difference. The awareness is what creates those tidal waves in the ocean of truth and justice, where the truth just starts to surface. And I feel like this is going to happen. There's a lot of energy behind it. There's a lot of power and passion behind it. And you can really feel it, right, Nana? When you're out there, you can really feel it, can't you, Nana? When you're out there, you can feel the passion and the persistence. It's just a beautiful thing out there. All right, so we're gonna play this real quick. Deep dive, y'all. We couldn't do it today. It's okay though. Tomorrow, deep dive part 1, y'all. We're gonna be going through it all.
For the first time since the allegations came out, John Paul Miller now denies tracking his wife, slashing her tires, and posting nude photos of her. But there's a specific part of this video that's key. But first, listen.
My wife was diagnosed with bipolar 2 disorder, schizophrenia, dependent personality disorder, and several other diagnoses by different doctors at different times all throughout the past 7 years. The 2 diagnoses that stayed with her every single year was schizophrenia and bipolar 2. Bipolar 2 is where you're super high and you want to give away $1,000. You know, the low is you want to end your life. And she went super high and super low many, many times over the years. And it was a struggle, almost a constant struggle, but we got through it. And the schizophrenia is where she would hear voices or talk to people that were not there. She'd play chess with people that were not there without a chessboard. She would sometimes forget who I was or forget that I was her husband. She'd forget who she was or forget that she was my wife. Sometimes she'd forget who her family is, things like that.
What does lithium do to you? What's up, Mary Jeree? What does lithium do to you? I don't know. What does lithium do to you? I can see how if you're so freaking drugged up, you might forget your own damn name. And that's what's crazy is why did Mica... Okay, I got to ask you guys this, and let me pull it up real quick. I can't believe we got blocked. All right. Why did Mica write this? So when JP is talking about how she couldn't remember her own name, sometimes she couldn't remember what day it was, who she was talking to. Why did she write this? I mean, you look at it and it says, you look at it, it says date, December 5th, 2022. Day, Monday. President Joe Biden. Next holiday, Christmas. Why present? Select power of attorney. Who did she write this for? And why did she write it that way? It's a mood stabilizer. Okay, does it knock you out enough to where you forget what your frickin' name is? Like does it knock you out like where you're drooling from your frickin' mouth like Like, is that what it does? I don't know. Well, I tell you what, that handwriting looks like his tattoo. I would take you back to the video where he showed his tattoo, but we can't do it anymore. My whole team's blocked. So I can't take you. I'd have to go to a previous live stream. Here, you know what? We just covered it. Hold on. We just covered it. Give me a second. We made a video about it. I can show you. All right, here we go. Let's see here. Let's go. Yep, we can show you right here. Where'd it go? Right there. Okay. To me, that looks pretty damn close. Here, let me zoom this up. Okay. I'm not saying it's real, but to me, this, I mean, yeah, you can copy frickin' Babe Ruth's signature and sell the damn card. Come on. But what I'm saying is when I'm looking at that and I'm looking at that, that looks pretty close. Yeah, the tattoo sure is shiny, right? But it's very similar, you guys. Look at that. Okay, look at that. Look at that. It's pretty similar. So, obviously, yeah, Babe Ruth baseball card, you could sign it. You could sign Larry Bird, whoever. But it does look similar. All right, so I'm going to go back to this. It just, I don't know. What other medication was she on?
You're super high and you want to give away $1,000. You know, the
What other
low is you
medication
want
was
to end
she
your
on?
life. And she went super high and super low many times over the years, and it was a struggle, almost a constant struggle, but we got through it. And the schizophrenia is where she would hear voices or talk to people that were not there. She'd play chess with people that were not there without a chessboard. She would sometimes forget who I was or forget that I was her husband. She'd forget who she was or forget that she was my wife. Sometimes she'd forget who her family is. Things like that. And on March 11th, remember that date because you super sleuths out there are going to need to know that date for the future. But on March 11th, something happened that kind of forever changed the course of our lives. And she went really deep into the schizophrenia and was
What? Okay. So what? So what does testosterone do to a female's mind with lithium and I would like to know what all medication, because let's not, even if that's true, let's not promote that, Brown Feather. Even if that's true, let's not promote that. when you're on different medication, it can make you do that. It can make you forget and act like stuff's there. I mean, shoot, think about this, yo. When you're tired, do you not see stuff that's not there? When you're like, I mean, trust me, when I'm doing these drives and it's a 14, 15-hour drive, right? And I do the whole drive in one swoop. 14, 15 hours, one swoop. I was already up for a few hours before that. I get to the destination. I'm still naturally wired from the drive and having to be like 200 focused the whole time that long. So I'm still awake mind wise, but my body's going. And then you just get to a point where you're so tired, and then all of a sudden you see something out of the corner of your eye, or, it's just being tired. So when you're on all sorts of different medication, that's why I'm asking. I wonder what all different medication she was on when he's talking about this, because that makes a difference. If you're on a whole bunch of different medication and it's making you, what are the side effects, the side effects of these medications? Oh, you got to take a medication for this because this side effect, but this medication is going to deal with that side effect, but it creates another side effect, and you got all these different medications going on. So that could be somebody that's under the influence of all these prescribed medications acting this way. Not that they have mental problems, but that they're on all of these different medications that would naturally make them act that way. Testosterone can give the depression and hallucinations. See what I'm saying? You mix real talk. You mix all of that. I want to know, I would like to know what it all, because that could easily explain all these things instead of making it be out to some mental health list of everything that you want to say was wrong or whatever, right? I mean, we heard some of the sermons. It might be in that, but it's probably at very small doses. But we heard some of the sermons. I would like to know what all medication, because that plays a huge role. That plays a huge role.
Delusional and accusing me of certain things, slashing tires, or sending a naked picture, or stalking her, things like that I didn't do. And
dude, there's 5 reports. She has you on video one time where you're threatening to upload the photo and then you go and do it. What are you talking about, dude?
And I found the Apple AirTag in my truck that week. And
see what I'm saying? This is why a conversation with me and him would be great, right? You guys have seen me talk to people. This is why a conversation would be great, because I could sit there and go, yo, explain this to me. Talk to us. What's up? Right? Talk to us.
I assumed it was hers because I would keep seeing her pop up where I was.
What's the reasons?
And I found the Apple AirTag in my truck that week, and I assumed it was hers because
he found one. I want to say contribution call out. Let me throw this up there real quick. Contribution call out. Hanging with Heather. Thank you for becoming a member. I appreciate you. There's a bunch of members only stuff for you. We are going to be having a members only live coming up. I was planning on Wednesday, but it seems like it's going to be Thursday, y'all. I think we're going to have the members only on Thursday. So, just as a heads up, I know last night I was talking Wednesday. It's probably going to be Thursday. Now, if anything does come up when it comes to the Mica Miller's case, if that's a day that it needs to be set aside for whatever obligation or whatever, then I want you all to understand that's what we're going to have to do. But this is going to be like a members live where we're just going to hang out, and I'm going to take you out for some fun. Okay. So it's not case related. It's, community related. But if there is something that comes across for the case, I want you to understand that's the only reason why we'd be ending up changing it. So I want to say thank you so much for the support, and thank you for checking out the channel and everything that you do out there as well. You know what I mean? All right, let's get back to this here. And that link again. All right, we'll get back to this here. Thank you so much, Heather.
I found an Apple AirTag in my truck that week, and I assumed it was hers because I would keep seeing her pop up where I was at. Here's a video of I was at a gas station on March 13th, and I look up and I see this very beautiful woman in a car that I've never seen before. And I learned quickly, of course, it was my wife. And she was hiding out or spying or something, and began videotaping me. And so I videotaped her, videotaping me. But it's sad that the mental illness is sad. But
maybe she pulled over and then was video. I don't know. I'd like to see the video, right?
we managed to always find lightheartedness in life in spite of it, and we always got through it. And I would do things like sometimes I had to play into the delusion, like pretend like I was a double agent who quit their job to marry this beautiful girl, and I'd have to show her our marriage license. And one time I even wrote a resignation to an agency saying that I can no longer work for you because I fell in love and wanted to get married, and things like that. It would help her take her medicine when she would come off of it. And I learned that about 2 years into the marriage. And we worked hard to keep her on her medicine. We worked very hard to keep her enjoying her life. She didn't have to cook a single meal. She didn't have to clean. She didn't have to work. She just had to take her medicine and enjoy her life. And we did our best with what we had. But
John Paul Miller describes a very, very sick woman. And if she was indeed that sick, I agree, she needed her medicine. But if she was so sick, then you have to question, why was Mica Miller in charge of so many programs at Solid Rock Church?
Right.
Specifically, she was in charge of the youth. If a woman is so mentally unstable, why was she allowed to be a part of teenagers' lives?
Or across the country.
According to multiple sources, when Mica was in charge of the youth group, it flourished. She did a phenomenal job, and parents loved her. I've spoken to many parents who had several children underneath the leadership of Mica Miller at Solid Rock Church. None of them ever saw any signs of mental illness. Not only that, Mica Miller seemed to be the face of Solid Rock Church, appearing in multiple videos on their Facebook page.
It's October 12th from 2 to 3:30 p.m.
And of course, we all know she was on stage every single Sunday, leading worship. But now, back to March 11th.
on March 11th, remember that date because you super sleuths out there are going to need to know that date for the future. But on March 11th, something happened that kind of forever changed the course of our lives.
When you cover a case like this, you build relationships with people who are involved in the story. And in this story, I've built dozens of relationships. Some of those people still very close to John Paul Miller. Something did indeed happen in the early morning hours of March 11th. I've seen the text messages. I've seen the call logs. What John Paul Miller failed to mention in this video is what the private investigator allegedly told him about March 11th. And John Paul didn't like what that investigator had to tell him.
Delusional and accusing me of certain things, slashing tires or sending a naked picture or stalking her, things like that I didn't do.
And remember, John Paul has already admitted that there was a private investigator. And John Paul admitted that that private investigator put tracking devices on Mica's car.
Yeah, I didn't do it, but I told him to make sure he called me if she went to a gun store. I mean, hello? You admitted that you did this stuff in email. What the hell? Like, did you forget the shit that's been out there already? Did he forget? Did he forget the stuff that he admitted to? I mean, we can't go back to some of it because we've been blocked, me and the whole team. So we'd have to go to previous shows. Did he like forget what he admitted?
Prior to put I didn't put a tracking device private eye. I did it because I told him to make sure if she was near a gun store to give me a call. And also thought that maybe there was some other reasons. You'll see that next week.
So if there was a private investigator there on March 11th, then the private investigator knew where Mica Miller was. And not long after John Paul Miller allegedly received this information from the PI, Mica Miller called police about her tires being slashed.
So we've come into a lot of information that has been sent to the police, and that's the key thing here, because people are wondering, okay, so what are police to do with all of these allegations? Do they even know? And now we know that her family has forwarded all of this information to the police. One of the things that is included in these documents is an apology email from him to Mica on April 15th of this year, which is about 12 days before she died. In it, he writes, "I'm sorry for damaging your car, tires, etc. If you ever come back, I will turn in both cars and get you a nice SUV or whatever car you want. Again, my horrible flesh pattern of hurting someone when they hurt me."
Admitted
now,
to
many
the
of you may
photo?
be asking, where are these text messages and call logs that I speak of? This part of the story is too vital to the investigation, and therefore I'm not going to interfere with the evidence that the FBI now has. And I will tell you this. I have confirmed that the FBI has spoken to multiple people about March 11th.
You know they have.
And what happened
You know they
that
have.
early morning.
You know they have.
God hates divorce, but why? According to everybody I've asked and the scriptures that I've found, it's because it hurts people. But does abuse hurt people? How do you think God feels about that? So I want to remind you, like a bunch of people have been reminding me lately, that I'm God's bride first. And even an earthly spouse who's a good spouse, when they know that their bride is being hurt, just imagine what an earthly spouse does. What do you think your heavenly spouse does when you're the bride of Christ and he sees his bride going through abuse and hurt? What do you think he thinks about that?
Exactly. How do you not remember what you already admitted to, man? That's what I'm asking. How do you forget what you admitted already? Don't make sense. Shout out Robbie Harvey. Here, I'm going to share that channel with you. Again, if you're not subbed, here's the channel. Go check him out. What's up, Yoli? Shout out to Yoli making the rounds, Yoli. I want to say here, you know what? Let's put this up here real quick. I want to say what I'm just shout out Yoli, man. Yoli. Shout out to you. Oh, the day when we had to like help you figure out how to get on the show and how to join the panel, and just to see the growth of you, Yoli, is beautiful. I just want to say, just because I may not be in the chats, and just because I may not be part of panels. I just want to say I still see you. All right. I still see you out there. I still see you kicking it on all the, and I just want to say congrats, Yoli, because you have in what, a little over a year time, you have come so far. For I'm telling you right now, you've come so far from being the person that emailed me about, remember, you called a couple times. It was, like, you wanted to reach out, and you felt so strong about the Idaho Ford case, and you wanted to reach out, and you were so nervous, and it's like, hey, you just do this and do this, and you called in a couple times, y'all. If you want, like a year or something ago, go check out the couple times Yoli called in, and then she started getting up on panel, and I'm just saying, like, like, you're going on Tommy and Rory and son of a bitch. You're going on Tommy and Rory and Andrew. I mean, how many times you been on Andrew? I'm just saying, congratulations to see your growth from where you started to where you are today. I mean, seriously, especially the shows on Mr. Myers, for real. Like, you're just knocking it out. Knocking it out. So I just want to say congratulations. It's cool to see the growth and how you're out there, just, you know what I mean? Like, Yoli, you got to have you got to have so much confidence now, and it's just awesome to see you grow. So I just want to say amazing. Even though I'm not around, I'm not in the panels, I may not be in the chats, but I do see how much you're accomplishing out there, and I just want to say, uh, you know, way to go. Way to go. She doesn't, I don't know, Yoli, are you promoting your channel like that? Or I know you've always said that you just make guest appearances, but you weren't necessarily like trying to have a channel or whatever, right? I don't know. Let me know. Because if you are promoting your channel, send me an email. I mean, I have the one I have, but I don't know if it's the same one is what you have now. So do me a favor, if you want to promote your channel, I know you didn't before, if you do now, email me the link of the channel. And actually, you know what? Here, I don't even need to email it. Hold on. I'm just going to go to my live. Give me one moment here. And then we're going to get into some of this Nathan Brewer stuff. You know what? We're just going to share your channel anyway. There you go. I'm subscribed. I'm ticket number 2 for the sub list. Let me see. And here is the channel link. So there you go. Make sure you put the period at the end. Just click the link and you'll get it. But why is it saying, there we go. There we go. 1 subscriber. Now, am I just 1 or am I 2? Yep, I'm the 2nd subscriber. There we go. Appreciate you. Let me update your link too, so I have that saved. All right, there we go. All right, so we're going to get to some of this. We're going to get to some of this Nathan Brewer stuff, all right? Now, let me make sure. Let me zoom it in so y'all can see it better. The link isn't working. What? All right, hold on. Try this one. Does that one work? Whole bunch of letters and numbers. How about that? Whoop, we dipped down a little bit. Hey, what the hell? Hold on, I gotta drop me down a little bit here. We'll go about right there. All right, there we go. Is it working now? All right, cool. Go sub up. She's awesome. Yeah, Yoli, you're gonna have to have these people drop your links. All right, cool. Thank you guys. All right, so this is let me see which one. Let's go to this one first. This is May 28th. All right. May 28th. It says, is that okay? Can you guys see it? That's probably as big as that's as big as I can make it. Oh, wait, no, it's not. Yeah, that is. Well, let me see. Let me try this instead. Let's just go like this. There. All right. That's as big as I can make it. Here we are. This is May 28th at 12:53 a.m. Here we are. I'm speaking on a lot of things right now that have happened here recently regarding Mica Miller's passing, Solid Rock at Market Common, and JP. I've been in the background observing, praying, watching, paying attention to everything before and after the day when JP announced the news of his wife's self-inflicted passing. I have been quiet, but I'm ready to speak. I've seen and watched as more and more details come to light each day. I have not been involved in sharing content on my Facebook page, nor have I been involved in pointing fingers at anyone because I'm still trying to wrap my brain around all of this. To be honest, it's making me sick to my stomach how Christians act towards one another. I have so much to say, so much to spill. I don't know if I can fit everything I want to say in this message. You know me. I know the videographer of Solid Rock at Market Common. Over the years, I have observed a lot of things that made my eyebrows rise, and I went home scratching my head, confused. And to be honest, I got to the point where I felt mentally drained, and it took a toll on me for some time. But I kept letting things roll off my shoulders, and I kept showing up, even though I felt a tug telling me I need to leave. I didn't know if it was God or the enemy trying to knock me off track. It was very hard to play. It was a very hard place to be in, but I kept showing up. I don't know if there was purpose. I don't know if there was a purpose in why I was still holding on, because God uses people in a certain way, even if it's good or bad, because God has his hands in everything. He sees the bigger picture that no one else can comprehend. Do any of us know our purpose in the moment? Maybe sometimes we are led in a way we don't understand at the moment, but it becomes clearer later. I was asked to film Mica Miller's celebration of life as the videographer for Solid Rock at Market Common. Although I felt unwell, I knew I had a duty to capture the event. After filming and editing, I felt nauseated and sick to my stomach. When I uploaded the files to my computer, I received a text from JP instructing me not to upload the video until further notice. Feeling conflicted, I believed that people needed to see the footage. After days of waiting for JP's approval, I decided to release the video without consent, as I didn't want to withhold the information any longer. I wanted to pass the footage to those who needed it, so I uploaded it. I want to share this story because it affects all of us in some way. I seek justice for Mica Miller and the Francis family. If it were your sister, daughter, or friend, you would do the same. Many Christians use Bible scriptures to cover up the truth. In reality, without investigation, there's no truth. We can't pretend that this is not happening, both inside and outside the church, whether you are a Christian or not. When I see Christians accusing others of being wolves in sheep's clothing, it makes me realize that sometimes the real wolf in sheep's clothing is the pastor, and people are acting as if nothing is wrong. I stand by seeking justice and taking a stand for what is right. We can forgive later depending on where our hearts are after the circumstances, but for now, don't accuse me of being a wolf. I am standing here as a soldier for God, seeking justice for Mica Miller. If you don't understand, then you are not in my shoes or the shoes of the Francis family, friends, or any victims in the same. So stop using Bible scriptures to cover up your sins. What's done in the dark will come to light. Question mark. Forgiveness comes after it's your choice and it's between you and God. We are not here forever. Learn to love one another. I can go on forever on this, but that's all I can say for now. Peace, love, and happiness. One love. God has not looked away from Mica. Hashtag justice for Mica. So that's the first one. And let me get to some of your comments. Very powerful message there. Very powerful. And shout out to him. All right, so the next one is from June 13th at 9:57 p.m. and it's from Nathan Brewer as well. It says, they think that just because of the cease and desist letter, we're supposed to shut up and be quiet and believe that everyone else is lying while the wolf in sheep's clothing is telling the truth. Okay, so the truth about the wolf in sheep's clothing character keeps coming out. Are we supposed to just sit here quietly and not express our doubts or our concerns about the justice for Mica that we all have the right to seek? Or are we supposed to just say, hey, everybody, let's just dance and go home forgetting about the whole thing? They can't take this letter and shove it. They can take this letter and shove it where the sun doesn't shine. They've got me mixed up with someone else. I don't have time. I don't have time for games or lies. I have a lot better things to do with my time than to sit here and make up lies about someone. I'm not the one to be gossiping and putting my twist on someone to make someone look bad just because. For what? I really wish I could get on this Ferris wheel and be normal and not stress over all this. I really wish life was a little more simple. I really wish there was a much more to life than this. I really wish I didn't have to take a stand against the evil, wicked ways of those who perform wrongdoings. I wish I could be free, and I really wish people loved the way they claim they do. I really wish the concerns I have about what happened to Mica were not true. I really wished what happened behind closed doors didn't happen, and I really wish Mica had a chance to bloom. But her environment stunted her growth in which she was trying to escape from. I really wish everything I was trying to do at the church with serving and building the kingdom of God was prospering, not for me, but for God only, and I never worship money. I could care less. I want to live simple and for God. I want to go back to when God was closer to me than my very own skin and nothing else matters. I really wish and pray on so many things, and until God tells me to be still, but as of right now, Mica has a voice. We have a voice taking that stand in which is rightfully ours, and I will keep speaking, and I will not be quiet. I will speak my truth, and you will not control me with this letter. And I speak based on my facts and my truth. Know this, you will not stop me. Mica might not be able to speak right now in her physical form, but her voice is being heard around the world. The abuse she had to go through, and we hear you, Mica. This will not be swept under the rug. We stand with you. My only regret is that I wish I had known a lot sooner. Was there something I could have done? Is there something I could have said to alter the trauma you went through, the prison you were in, the lack of a man that was supposed to protect you? Maybe this had to take place to wake up people. God has a plan, and you are resting in the arms of our God now and forever with everlasting peace. Hashtag justice for Micah. Hashtag truth. Hashtag from the heart. And then you got prayer hands, dove heart, and a peace sign. So I'll leave these two links for you guys if you want to have these for yourself. Here's the first one that we read. And here's the second one. Yeah, I'd like to talk to him sometime too. Right. So shout out to him. All right. We are going to check out. I want to go into a little bit of Chris Skinner, and then we're going to come back to a conversation with one of Micah's sisters before we end the evening. So I'm going to play this video for you guys, and there's a couple minute video where it shows like it's like how do I explain it? It's like a little clip of how he warms up his audience. He traveled and spoke at different events and conferences and things like that. But we're gonna check out a couple minute clip of just showing how he would do that. And then we're going to check out this episode where he talks choices and consequences with Chris Skinner. That way, you're not seeing just a couple minute clip and you actually kind of get to see who Chris was. And I think it's important that while we're talking about Micah and what took place there, I think it's important to also talk about Chris because just like his neighbors and his friends have told me, they feel like there's individuals that might have had an interest in both, if that makes sense. And so I think we need to highlight his situation as well. So this is the video. This is him lightheartedly warming up his audience, and then we're going to get into that episode of choices and consequences with Chris Skinner. So here's this video. You see, so this video, this is where he talks about the details of his story. So if you don't know what happened, this is where he discusses kind of what took place and what happened.
There it is. It was the keg of beer, and I was like, ooh. And just like temporary fun and distraction, it's like it was calling me. The keg of beer was like, Skinner. And I was like, yes. And it was like, come to me. And I was like, okay. And I start going to this, and Adam taps me on the shoulder. And I'm like, what, Adam? Okay? What, man? I'm getting ready to have my fun. I'm getting ready to do my thing. He goes, remember, dude, you said you weren't going to drink, bro. And I said this, I'm just going to have one. Right. How does that turn out? Not very good. He said, give me your keys. Let me give me your keys. I said, okay. I threw him my keys. Here's a good point. You guys take the keys from your friends. Listen, if you're going to go out and you're going to do things anyway, because I know realistically that people aren't going to say, yeah, I'm never going to do this again. Plus, you'll be 21 at some point in your life. Remember this. You have other days to do things. So remember, give the keys to somebody else. Let them drive. If you're in a group of people, let somebody decide to drive and be safe, because you'll have other days. If you don't, maybe you won't. And that's for real. There's stories all across the country of big groups of friends getting killed because they weren't smart enough to make one choice to not drink and not drive. It's not worth it. So, I gave them the keys, but in my mind, I thought this. Maybe you've said this before, but I know you've heard this before. I thought this. I drive better when I'm drunk. You ever heard that one? Yeah, because I concentrate on the steering wheel more. What about the road, you moron? Yeah, no one drives better when they're drunk. But here's what I did. I turned away from Adam and I went over to the temporary fun. I went to the keg. I started drinking. I got intoxicated. The next thing you know, it was like 12 o'clock. Adam taps me on the shoulder again. I'm like, what, man? What? He's like, dude, I got to leave, man. I'm leaving. It's 12 o'clock. I'm leaving. I'm out of here. And I'm like, fine, whatever. I actually started calling names. I'm like, you punk, like loser, party foul, I'm like calling this kid a loser
For those who don't know, Chris Skinner is his wife is JP's girlfriend. So that's why we're discussing this with Mica Miller. His wife is JP's girlfriend and has been JP's girlfriend for a while. And Chris Skinner actually confronted JP about what was going on with him and his wife. And then he, like his friends and neighbors say, it's real suspicious that when he's a motivational speaker, he's doing all of these dates and speaking arrangements and somehow just wheels himself into a pool. And the footage is already sketchy when it comes to him getting wheeled into a pool.
Being responsible for doing the right thing. I'm like, you're such an idiot. I remember I even put my arm around him. I'm like, dude, just have a beer and chill. Take a girl. That was up. And he's like, Skinner, seriously, man. We got to get back. We got things to do in our lives. And I cannot tell you how much it hurts me inside. Because I can see it like it was yesterday. I can see Adam right now walking away from me, man. To get into my car and drive away. And I can't tell you how bad I want to follow that quote-unquote loser and get to the car with him and leave, man. Because I wouldn't be sitting here. I'd be able to walk probably. And I didn't do it. And I'll tell you right now, that guy was not the loser I was.
Yeah, that's why. All right, so here's this episode. I'm going to share this link with you guys. This is the episode where I wanted to show just the fun side of him. This is more of a heartfelt conversation. And then, like I said, we're going to end the show tonight with one of Mica's sisters went on an episode, and we're going to hear that conversation after this. This is about, I think it's like 23 minutes. Yeah, 23 minutes. And he's talking about choices and consequences.
Welcome to episode 1 of Choices and Consequences with Chris Skinner. Couldn't tell you, my friend basically dared me to do this and wants me to do this. My name is Chris Skinner. I'll be your host, and I just wanted to start off by letting you know I was in a car accident 19 years ago. I was paralyzed from about the collarbones down, and after I was paralyzed, there's so much information that about everything, but let me just start off with this. After I was paralyzed, I went back to it was in a drinking driving accident, and I went back to some of those choices and continue to get. If you keep doing what you're doing, you're going to keep getting what you get. And so I realized that I need to make some changes in my life. And possibly you do too. But really and truly, I wanted to start off this particular podcast with reading my autobiography. I wrote an autobiography called The Ultimate Learning Experience. And it's subtitled a Young Man's Journey Through Life. And we all have a journey. Life is tough. And I know in the Bible it says when you go through trials of any kind, that it will produce, if you go through it, and it'll produce maturity and other things. But it says when, it doesn't say if you're going to face hard times. We all will face hard times. We all have a different journey, a different path. And it just so happened for me, at the age of 20 years old, after my sophomore year at college, it just happens that I took my seatbelt off 20 seconds before the last turn. I was a passenger, and my friend lost control of the vehicle, and I was paralyzed. I was airlifted to UVA hospital and woke up 13 days later from a sedated coma, and I had an entirely different life. Growing up, I was able-bodied man, wiggling my fingers, wiggling my toes, playing sports, playing anything with a ball, very confident, borderline arrogant, and individual. I made a lot of mistakes, hurt a lot of people, and really had to forgive myself and ask others to forgive me. And it's been a great learning lesson, a wonderful learning lesson. I, did a lot of manipulation. I did a lot of rationalization, justification. There was many things that now, being paralyzed and having to sit in a wheelchair and think about things for 19 years, I've learned a lot, and I'd like to just kind of share that wealth. And to start off, I've got this my book that I wrote called The Ultimate Learning Experience, and I like to read first the foreword. And the book, it was written by a teacher that I had for a world survey of world religions. Her name was Dr. Koleski. I went to Radford University. She was an extremely strict and tough teacher, and you'll hear that in the book. But man, I mean, when I first got to school, when I got there, when I showed up, I had like long hair, and I took her course, and I failed it. Yeah, I failed it the first time, and then withdrawn. So And then after I came back paralyzed, I took a class again, and things worked out good because I was much more motivated. I mean, I didn't do it when I had all of my physical capabilities, but when I came back to school without my physical capabilities, it was all about determination. It was all about willpower. It was all about reaching inside myself and grabbing all the God-given virtues that each and every one of us has. So when you hit a hard circumstance, remember that God has given you and me and all of us things that we couldn't even imagine. We can have a peace that surpasses all understanding when we get in those tough spots. So let me go ahead and start reading. This is from my religious professor it's the forward, and then the next live feed I will go into the next chapter and just kind of give some commentary if needed or whatnot. So the forward. As a professor of religious studies at Radford University, it has been my privilege to know Chris Skinner. I don't know about that, but since January 2001, I don't think she didn't know and she didn't remember that I had taken her course before and flunked it, sitting in the back. But anyway, anywho, now you know, Miss Dr. Koleski. Having drawn wisdom and hope from his ultimate learning experience, I am delighted to introduce this autobiographical account of it. I'm gonna make mistakes and stuff. This is a real, genuine podcast here, man. There's no room for fakeness. This is just real and raw. At the university, I have a justified reputation as one of the most difficult and uncompromising instructors. True story. My teaching philosophy exactly corresponds to the life approach Chris advises in the pages that follow. Students must demonstrate the self-discipline, perseverance, and accountability necessary for success in the real world. Many drop or fail my classes. Maybe some of you guys are taking right now. Teachers are courses that are very difficult, or you have in the past, or even in your daily work. There's all these difficult and strict things. Maybe you'll get something out of it. Let's see. Chris enrolled into world religion the first semester he returned to school after his accident. Given his severe physical limitations, I seriously doubted he could meet my rigorous academic standards, even with the disability accommodations. Still, his determination to try amazed me. In his place, I remember thinking I would simply give up. People say all the time to me, like, if I was in your circumstance, there's no way I could do it. I'd give up. And I think people sell themselves a little bit short, because you'd be amazed what humans can do, especially if you're drawing your power and your determination, if you will, from the Almighty God, because then you have the ultimate ability to draw from the infinite power. And that's the way I feel, and that's what I've done. And man, God has given me a really amazing life, where I met a beautiful woman who was my physical therapist. We've been married 15 years and we have twins. So anyway, let me keep rolling here. As the semester progressed, he faced every imaginable difficulty. He was hospitalized for infections, dizziness and nauseous that impaired concentration, wheelchair malfunctions, etc. The hurtful interaction with the empty-headed, cute blonde-haired girl described in the chapter occurred in my class. Fortunately, I never learned her name. I'll read it in later chapters, but it's basically when I went back to school, going to my first class, when I pulled with my wheelchair,
I learned a hard lesson. I realized just how different I looked and how different people were going to treat me because of the way I looked. Sitting in the chair and having curled up hands like this, not being able to open my hands anymore. You'd be amazed at how people treat you. It's far out, man. It's unbelievable still to this day, but it is what it is. Let's keep going. This is written by Dr. Koleski, the forward in my book. Given all he had to contend with, I worried that Chris would fail the course, a discouragement I wanted no part in. Frankly, as I began reading him the first exam, I felt tempted to give facial or vocal hints. Wish she would have, but she didn't. At the same time, I knew Chris to be too bright and honest to want high marks he had not earned. That was very kind of her, but I'm not sure that I was there yet with my integrity levels and things of that nature. Better judgment prevailed. I put on my poker face and spoke in a monotone voice. By the fourth or fifth question, my anxiety disappeared. Chris needed no help from me to answer correctly. On an exam that plunged many of his enabled, able-bodied classmates irretrievably underwater, Chris scored a B. Chris not only finished world religion with that grade, but another course that included writing assignments. Completing 2 of my classes with a B makes him the academic equivalent of a Green Beret. I'm not sure about that. I'm definitely not sure about that, but whatever, I really appreciate it, Dr. Koleski. You're awesome. Chris's ultimate learning experience is a youthful but no less profound confrontation with timeless and universal truths, insight into life that, it so happens, correspond to venerable religious teachings. What did he learn? First, that we are all at the mercy of an unfathomable force. True. Fate or chance that can, at a moment's notice, transform ordinary life into an endless walking nightmare or rolling nightmare. He was not immune. Chris found out, and he accurately warns that no one is. Man, it's true. Your life, my life now still, everyone's life can change in just a snap of a finger. Just snap your finger, and that's how fast it can happen. I was just at a friend's wedding. I got into the vehicle, took my seatbelt off. 20 seconds later, snap, bang, I wake up. I'm paralyzed from the collarbones down. Can you imagine that? Can you think about, people all through life, they think they're getting sick. They go to the doctor. They have cancer or a brain tumor or things of that nature. Life is like that. That's why we need each other, and we need to do some of the things that I learned. Chris's second realization is the hallmark of maturity. Appearances are deceptive. True, appearances are so deceptive. Just like don't read a book by the cover. Let's make sure we get to know somebody, before it. Appearances are deceptive, and we must always look deeper. Before the accident, Chris possessed what many people, young and old, crave: physical attractiveness, athletic ability, popularity, a schedule of pleasurable self-indulgence. Suddenly falling out of the in crowd, as he did, taught not only hidden dangers of this lifestyle, but also the fleeting nature of its satisfactions. All that glitters is not gold. Vice versa, disasters, Chris learned, can be opportunities for enduring achievement. In some, there are higher and better aspirations than, in his words, temporary fun. Now, temporary fun is, you go out and you're hooked and you're just drinking alcohol and doing drugs or whatnot. And I look at, I have nothing against drinking alcohol. If you're 21 years old, anybody can drink alcohol. I'm just saying from my experience and what I did, I know for a fact, I was drinking a lot of alcohol and doing a lot of things that put myself in danger. And it was temporary fun. Like I had a bunch of issues that were going on from my childhood all the way to college, where I had a lot of anger inside of me. I had a ton of different issues that, if left without alcohol or drugs at that time, I didn't know how to deal with some of the things that I was battling within my heart, my soul, and my mind. And so when I would drink and things like that, it would help me escape that reality, if you will. And so in essence, I was self-medicating myself, and that's not good. We got to be able to live our lives to the fullest without using harmful things and things that can ultimately leave you paralyzed or dead. Just a beautiful life. It is temporary, but let's live it to the fullest. This brings us to the third lesson, which Chris teaches by consummate example: the possibility of heroism. Heroes are people who respond to the worst conditions with the best qualities. It is difficult to imagine anything more devastating. Excuse me, I gotta turn the page. Like I told you, this is raw. This is episode 1. We'll get through this. Then Chris's accident. There's nothing more devastating than Chris's accident and its aftermath, herein presented in unflinching detail. Unsurprisingly, victims of such adversity often bitterly withdraw from life. I'm not sure, but that's her perspective. It is nothing short of miraculous that Chris emerged champion, as he puts it, the virtues of desire, determination, willpower, ambition, and perseverance. While Chris is extraordinary, he reminds us that we all have heroic potential. As the sun daily rises, each of us not only can, but also must choose between strength and weakness, self-discipline and self-indulgence, hanging on and giving up. Fate may dictate less than optimal circumstances, but finally, we determine whether we become an asset or a liability to others and ourselves. In the pages that follow, the reader will find a spectacular case of the triumph of light over darkness, a victory that is never easy or assured, but which ultimately rests in your own hands. I can think of no one more worthy of emulation by young and old alike than Chris Skinner. Written by Susan Koleski, PhD, Professor of Religious Studies at Radford University. Man, that was every time I read it, every time I think of Dr. Koleski, I can't think of how wonderful that woman was and how much she taught me. And it took me to go back to school really wanting it and being in a paralyzed state, to realize that all the things that she was doing, being strict and whatnot, was for our benefit. She told us at the very beginning of the semester everything that she expected from us. And, then in the middle of the semester, if we would try to pull something on her, she'd say no, and then we would get frustrated and angry with her. But she had already told us everything that we needed to know. And the things that she was teaching us were things that we needed for life, things that we needed for everyday life, with our jobs, like showing up on time, making sure that when we write, we look at it. I remember she would say, I'm going to read your papers, and after 5 mistakes, I'm going to quit reading them, and you fail. And that was because we were expected to look over our papers, get other people to look over our papers, and write good papers, so that when we get in the workforce and we have to write memos or things like that, that we write, good memos and things that are, people look at us and say, well, they got their stuff together. They're squared away. But at that time, as a 17, 18, 19-year-old kid, man, I couldn't see it. Wasn't even looking for it. I basically went to college and went crazy. Just went there to have fun and temporary fun, and didn't really realize and didn't focus on, hey, what do I want to major in so that when I graduate, I can get a job and, produce finances for a family one day possibly, or just for myself. So I appreciate anybody who has joined me on this episode 1 of the podcast. I've been practically dared by many friends to get on here and start sharing a little bit of my message and who I am. And I just got to tell you that I can do nothing without Jesus in my life, without God in my life. I was saved on September 29, 2001. And that's the most important thing in my life. And he has carried me over mountains that I thought I could never climb, over, burning lava, through some of the most ridiculously hardest circumstances that I think a human can go through as a paralyzed man. And I just keep putting my faith in him and keep driving forward. I look forward to reading this book with you more and more. And like I said, this channel is about choices and consequences. And it's as real as it gets, as raw as it gets. There will be mistakes made because we're human. But I appreciate you listening. Thank you. And see you next time. Have a great, wonderful day. And go live your day. Have a purposeful day. Go and make a change. We all have a life because we're breathing. If you're breathing, it's a good thing. All of our lives matter. So let's go make them count. Thanks. Bye-bye.
And what a... Oh, sorry, my microphone. Sorry about that. And what a great message. Thank you guys for, hanging out and getting to hear the message. I think it's important for anybody to hear it when it comes to life, peace, positivity, progress, the 150%, treating others how you would want to be treated yourself. And also an inspiring message as well. And what a sad story too. But I feel like, like I said before, like last night and the day before, we are going to be starting to talk about this too. Because I feel like this should be highlighted as well, considering everything with Mica's case. So please hit the like if you haven't yet. It is the free way to help. Now I'm gonna switch to an episode. Hold on one second. Now this is one of Mica's sister, Abigail. Okay. This is the one that reached out to me, and we're gonna have a conversation here. This was aired, and I want to say shout out to her everything she's doing as well. Appreciate her very much. This is going to be a conversation that she had with the channel Talk Murder to Me. So here's the link to their episode. And this is a 45-minute or so conversation with Abigail. And then we're going to check out a couple other little things here before we end the show tonight. I want to say thank you all for hanging out. Thanks for your support, and thanks for helping us bring awareness to both of these cases this evening. I appreciate you.
I am so sorry. I've never seen it say go live before. Why does this always happen? I've never seen it say go live before.
It was a warm up. No, we just saw a chat come through that our good supporter said thanks for your patience, and I thought,
yeah, thanks for your patience. We've been on here for 15 minutes.
Man,
I am so sorry, everybody that's watching. Thank you, Shram, for pointing that out. In this software, I know I always make excuses about my technology. I'm terrible at it, but there's never been a go live button. I don't know. Anyway,
you know what? You never set it up in advance.
Oh, that's
why.
Yeah.
You never set it up in advance. We just go usually.
Yeah. So I'm gonna one more time. I'm so sorry. We're here with.
We're all loose now.
Yeah, we're here with Abigail Francis. This is Mica's youngest sister. And she's here. This stream is going to be on remembering Mica and honoring her and finding out who she was. And the best person to tell us, obviously, is the youngest sister, who we've already heard some good stories. And I apologize again, but Abigail's here. And one more thing, the website that was just launched is www.justiceformica. You can go there and support. You can see, I saw you had like all the videos of everything going on. You can get, the shirt, the great looking shirt you got and everything. So go there and support. And yeah, so my bad, but here we are on live now. And Abigail, you can take it away. So.
Okay. And I also don't know if you can see, I have the little necklace that is also being made.
Beautiful.
This was Mica 6:8. It was one of her favorite Bible verses. So that is also on the website if you wanted to purchase that as well.
That
Very
is
nice,
awesome.
yes.
Beautiful. I was actually wondering if that's what that was. Well, tell us about your relationship and what she was like growing up.
So growing up, all of us, I'm the seventh. So there's 6 girls and 1 boy. And the house was always super loud. Everyone was always involved doing something. And our family really feeds off of energy in each other. So if one person's happy, the other person's happy, and everybody's giggling, everybody's laughing. We're all very loud. We're big personalities. So she was always doing color guard. She was in volleyball. We did volleyball together. We were in Grand Strand Juniors volleyball traveling team. So that was always fun to go and travel together and get to see her do her games and then her watch me have my games.
Oh, that's so cool.
We would scrimmage together in the front yard. She would give me tips on how to set properly. And she would always spike on me because she's always got to be that big little sister teaching me a lesson. She's like, your arms, they got to be tougher. They got to be tough. So she'd always spike to try to make sure that these bigger girls that we were being against wouldn't make me feel intimidated. So she was always trying to push me to be better, always helping me learn. And those were some of the biggest memories that I have of her in the adolescent growing up stage. And fast forwarding to our adulthood, her and I have kind of a drastic different in age groups. Whenever I was in middle school, she was in high school. So we were never in the same group. So whenever we were able to come back as adults, it was, okay, you're 25 now. What do you want to do for a career? She was always pushing me to be the next step ahead in life and continuing to move forward. She always said, we have to have good work ethics. We have to be outgoing people, get it done. Don't be a lazy person. Be great in everything that you do and always try and do your best.
Oh, wow.
So she was always pushing you, always trying to help you be the best that you could be.
That's beautiful. Did you guys grow up in a Christian household, I'm guessing?
We did.
Yeah.
Yes, we did. We did. Our mom, she has a beautiful voice. My dad, he is musically inclined. And they ended up meeting because my grandparents was driving my mom to church. So when he came, because he was in the Air Force, so whenever he got back, my grandpa was like, you got to meet this woman that we've been taking to church. And then that's how they met.
Oh, that's a beautiful story.
Yeah, that is beautiful. Yeah.
It's amazing.
And even whenever, sorry to cut you off, even whenever our parents did get divorced, our stepdad, Michael, both of my parents' names are Michael, so it does get a little confusing. But Michael Honeycutt, our stepdad, he also would take us to church and make sure that we knew who God was and who our Heavenly Father was.
Wow, that's amazing. I know down here in the South, like I told you, we're in Charleston, so there's, I think on the way to Myrtle Beach, there's probably 100 churches you pass, mostly Baptist. Yeah.
They even have like this little traveler's chapel on the side of 501. And I love going by and seeing it. And anytime anybody comes in, I'm like, go to the Traverse Chapel.
That's neat.
That's cool.
We'll have to do that next time we stop into town.
There's only like 3 little pews. It only fits max like 10 people in.
Is that like for truckers
awesome.
that are coming through there? Like,
I guess anybody.
I wouldn't say truckers because it's a smaller one.
Oh, okay.
It's more so like if it's like midnight and you want to go and pray, you can always go there. The doors are always open. The lights are always on. There's never anybody there. They have like a little prayer box and like a little donation box that you can donate to help keep up with the grounds.
Oh, cool.
They don't have
That's
services
awesome.
there or anything like that.
That's really
Very
beautiful.
nice.
Yeah.
Is there a story that you have of Mica that you can share that best captures her spirit?
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, that's a little bit difficult just because there are so many.
Yeah.
Most recently, though, I would say when she was in her trip in Kenya, she was at the market and there were hand carved out of wood different animals. And there was a lion and like its prance, like action kind of figure. And she's like, that really caught my eye, but I don't know who it belongs to. I want it and I want to give it to somebody, but I don't know who it belongs to. This past Christmas, my stepson got to spend with us and with his father, my fiance. And it was the first time Mica had met him. And immediately she said, this belongs to you.
Oh, wow.
She said he was such an amazing kid, and his spirit, she could feel in her spirit that for some reason, they didn't even know each other, that belonged to him and she needed to give it to him. So in worldly terms, she was always that happy-go-lucky person, but in biblical spirit types, she was always very sensitive, always listened to what God was telling her, what the Holy Spirit was saying, and being very mindful of others and not just thinking about herself all the time.
Gotcha.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. Would you say like she was the most free-spirited too? I mean, I don't know.
It's hard to describe in such a big family. If you were to, I guess, pick like what was she the most of out of your siblings? Like a superlative.
It's kind of hard to say because we all kind of did similar things and we all have similar talents. I feel like she always was kind of the first to be able to do things. And so once she knocked it out of the park, we were all kind of intimidated to even try because we knew that she was just the best at everything that she did. Like she was Miss Saukesty. She went to St. James. She was there, Miss St. James in congeniality. So she was the volleyball captain, the volleyball coach, like worship leader, youth group leader. So everything she did, website designer, all of these things that she did, she just always was the best at. She wanted to make sure that she never gave 50%. And even one of the last videos that I saw, she didn't have a voice. It was at one of the church services. She didn't have a voice, so she wasn't singing, but she went up for altar call. And she said, it's easy in the moment to be like, oh, okay, well, everything looks perfect and I'm about to worship God. So it's easy. But what about when it's hard? What about your energy and what you give God? God doesn't want just your 50%. You shouldn't want to only give God 50%. Give God your all. Give him 100%. And she looked at that in life with everything, not just biblically. So going to school, give it your 100%. Going to church, give it your 100%. Going to work, give it your 100%, even 110%. if you're going through struggles in life, keep pushing forward and don't let it stop you.
Oh my gosh. That is so powerful.
It sounds like she was a trailblazer for you and your siblings almost.
Yeah.
Paving the way for you guys.
That's incredible.
What was her relationship like with the rest of her family and friends around her?
Over the last couple of years, it was a little on and off with everything that she was going through. Whenever she was here, it was 110% full attention on whoever she was with. I asked her, because she always had her phone upside down on the table. And I said, why do you do that? And she said, because I want to make sure that I'm not distracted by anybody trying to reach me, because I'm here to talk to you.
Oh, I
I'm
love
here to
that.
be with you. I'm here. I'm like, okay, that kind of gives me a different setting on why people turn their phone over. It's not because they're hiding anything or trying to be secretive or something weird. It's she wants to give full undivided attention.
I know I'm the same way. Any light up on my phone, you get distracted easily.
Yeah.
Her presence and wanting to be with the people she was with. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, because sometimes it would be for 5 minutes, or sometimes it would be for an hour she could hang out. Sometimes we would only be able to go get a coffee and then she would have to go run and do something else. So sometimes we would get little snippets here and there of quality time, because we love quality time. We love acts of service. We like gifts and things like that. That's part of our family, is even though you might like it, if this could make someone feel special, then just go ahead and do it, even if you don't feel like doing it. And that's kind of who Mica was.
You guys were well-versed in one another's love languages, it sounds like.
We tried to be.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard the acts of service and the gift giving.
Definitely.
The love language.
Familiar.
Yeah.
Are there any particular moments or achievements in her life that she was especially proud of and her passions?
Just the color guard, volleyball, being the worship leader, being a youth group leader, being a mentor to people that she didn't realize she was even a mentor of, making sure that everybody felt loved in any circumstances, because you don't know what people go home to.
Yeah.
You don't know their background, and she never wanted to make anybody feel left out. And she ended up, so her and I played volleyball for a couple different teams. And one of them, we were Horry County Rec. And I think it was maybe 2 years ago, she had called me and said, guess what I just did? It's like, what? And she said, I'm now a coach for the Horry County Rec team. So she rededicated her time, because that helped us in our situations growing up. And it helped us stay active, and it helped us grow and become better people, is being in sports. And she always wanted to give back and give forward.
That's amazing. All that stuff too, like how does she find the time,
Exactly.
Yeah.
She would ask me, like, come to a game. I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm working.
Yeah.
And she always made time.
I saw on the website, you were mentioning she was in Kenya. There are pictures on the website of that. So definitly go check that out.
They built houses for them. That was one of the main reasons that they were there. They built a couple houses.
Was that with with the church? With like a church
So
thing?
she initially started that herself.
Oh, see.
Since she was like 7.
Wow.
She's always wanted to go to Africa. She's always wanted to do this. And I had attended there for many years, and they never once wanted to do any missions work. In fact, a couple people did come, and they were like, well, no, we're not really interested in missions. And Mica made it a point to get it started, because she's always wanted to. And it's funny, because going back to one of the memory things, I forgot to bring it out. I think it's called World Visions. Do you know?
It sounds familiar. It sounds
okay.
familiar.
I think it's called World Visions. And Mica knew that I loved We the Kingdom, one of the Christian bands, and they had come to Myrtle Beach, and they did a Christmas concert this past Christmas. And she invited me to go. And randomly throughout, they'd be like, so World Missions is here. If you want to donate, they have a table up front. If you want to donate, raise your hand. We'll give you a little pamphlet. And her and I at one point weren't even sitting together, because I love to dance. And whenever they were doing worship music, I raised my hands. I'm one of the biggest worship dancers, leaders. I love it all. And I couldn't sit still in my seat. So I ended up standing up and going to the very back. And they were like, so if the Holy Spirit leads you and feels like you need to be donating to this, raise your hand. And at the very end, they said, if you raised your hand, which I did, and I didn't know she did, we can have a private concert with We the Kingdom at the very end. I was like, wow. So cool. Yeah. And we met up at the very end and we both held up. We're like, I get to go to the concert. And she's like, I get to go to the concert. So she was always continuously trying to give forward, especially to children who don't have the ability to live in America, to have money, to have the people that have dirt floors. We are so blessed to live where we live.
Oh, yes, exactly.
And all of like the cockroach and infested apartments. Be grateful. Be grateful that you're not living in the dirt with nothing, no roof over your head. You're not being rained on. You've eaten last night or the night before. These children haven't eaten in days.
Yeah.
And she always wanted to make sure that some way, one way or another, she was going to make it there and she would help. And she did. And they had built, I think initially they wanted to build maybe 7 mud homes for like single families. But I think they got to 5 or 6. I can't remember.
That's still.
The weather wasn't right and they had ran out of building construction stuff. So they couldn't do as many as they wanted, but they stayed there the same amount of time that they did and got to spend more time with the people rather than just only building them homes. She spent time with them. She went to their markets. She loved being there.
That is
she
amazing.
Wanted to live there.
That is so amazing. I honestly, if more people were like you and Mica, I mean, this world would be a totally different place, a better place.
Yeah.
A much better place, you know. That is so inspirational.
It's even hard for me too sometimes. Like, okay, money might be tight, but this baby hasn't eaten. Give them $20.
Yeah.
Don't go get your coffee. Don't go buy donuts. Kind of, what's the word? Give yourself structure. Like, don't give into all of these things that your mind says, like, be a better person. And it is a constant daily struggle, even if you're Christian.
Yeah.
Person cuts you off in the car. Oh, I have road rage. I have road rage. And it's so hard. It's like, okay, you need to calm down. Everything's fine.
Perspective.
So it is difficult. Perspective. You definitely have to retrain your brain and be like, no, this is way more important and you can't be selfish.
Yeah. It seems like she
lived it. Yeah.
I think they call that like emotional intelligence too, where you can, control your emotions type of thing. That's beautiful. She sounds really powerful, like inspirational.
What do you think you, Mica, would want people to remember most about her?
About her specifically would just be that she was always smiling, no matter her circumstances. She was always moving forward, always trying to look at the bright side about things. And no matter what life threw at her or anybody around her, I mean, you can go to her Facebook and see a couple of her last videos. She said, let's make the enemy mad today. Pray for somebody else while you're going through your turmoil. Pray for somebody else who is struggling more than you. And even if they're not struggling more than you, at least pray for them and keep moving forward. And she definitely was that type of person. She definitely would want all of us to remember, like a lotus. They are in the mud and they have to push through and grow and get out of the water to become the beautiful flower that they are. So that's definitely something that we tried to live by and something that Mica definitely lived by. It's not something that, it may have been a struggle and she never showed it, but she definitely was that light for everybody.
I'm sure you're making some people tear up on the live. I know one of our supporters, she said that this is going to make me cry because she's thinking about her sister as well right now.
Yeah. I mean, the amount of love that, is felt between sisters and that she showed with so many around her it's really powerful and really beautiful.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
One of the other last memories that I had written down that I forgot to say, with her and the character that she was, it was a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, very, very recent. And she said, I just want to know that I am proud of you for the adult and the woman that you've become. Because again, our relationship with her and the family and the friends were on and off sometimes. And there was about a year where I didn't even talk to her because things were going on in her life and in my life. And she was just like, I want you to know that I love you and I am very proud of who you've become and I will always support you. So even though we weren't always together and things were going on, she was always still supporting me from behind, whether I knew it or not.
That's amazing. Yeah, she knew that you looked up to her, it seems, you know, and she was trying to be that beacon for you.
I'm glad that you were able to hear that from her.
Yeah.
That must mean so much.
Yeah, it really does.
Wow. What message would you like to share with others about your sister?
Just the same thing. She was a beacon of light. Yeah.
Is there anything that you wish people would ask you that they haven't?
Not really. And I did, now it's clicking in my head after going back to the last question. One thing I do want people to know, and one thing that she would want people to know, is through everything that she was going through, she never wanted to badmouth anybody else. She didn't want to take people down. She didn't want to roll anybody in the mud. She wanted to be peaceful. She wanted to have her own life. She wanted to be who God wanted her to be and re-find herself. And she actually, the last church that she had attend for, I think she was there 2 months, maybe less than that, but she had rededicated her life and got baptized in the ocean. And that's where we had her memorial service. That's why we had it specifically at that beach. So she was on the up. She was looking at things in a new perspective and a new light. She loved her future and what it could have become. Her and I would talk all the time about her future and what she wanted her new house to look like and what her future plans for Kenya would be and just things of that nature. And she never wanted any negativity towards anything, no matter what people have heard she has been through and what people don't know that she was going through.
That's incredible. That's incredible. I mean, I can't say personally that I would be like that. You know, if I was going through things, I can't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why we're all doing our best to not do that as well, because it's not what she would want.
Yeah.
We're seeking justice for her the best way that we can. And again, thank you to everybody who has supported us with your resources, time, energy. I want her name everywhere. I want her face everywhere I turn, on billboards, on street signs, on everything. I want her out there, because looking back, and if the investigation and things come up and things change based on their initial ruling of her passing, if anybody is ever held accountable, just like on Netflix or anything like that, Ted Bundy, nobody remembers those girls, but they know his name. And I don't want that to ever be a thing. Mica will forever be said. Mica's law needs to be set in stone and needs to be set in place. If you guys can go to the website and look at that, the coercive control bill, that's been sitting in since January of 2021, when 3 other states passed it, but South Carolina didn't. That needs to be looked into and needs to say, why did 3 other states say that everything in this bill can go forward and they passed it? This could have protected her in so many instances. So if you go to the website, then you'll be able to see what I'm referring to and what I'm talking about. But I want her name everywhere.
Yeah.
I want her face everywhere.
Do y'all have the resources to push Mica's Law? I don't. I'm just asking to, I guess, to put that in doctrine, or how does that work? I mean,
So since it's already been introduced, we are imploring the committee to look at it again and revise it, and pretty much trying to say that there's no way that anybody cannot say they've never heard of it. And it's basically sitting on a shelf right now, and people haven't looked at it, or if they have, they just put it back and they thought something was more important. And hopefully, I pray that something else was more important. But again, I don't think anything could be more important than this bill being passed and all of the other people who could be saved by it. Because police officers are not, they may be trained, but they don't have anything to look at and to go off of as far as policies and laws and bills set in stone. They may have their own moral and ethical vision of what should happen in specific instances, but the law doesn't back it up. So they legally can't do anything. So if this bill gets set in stone, we rename it Mica's Law and make sure that her name and her face is forever shown.
oh, gotcha.
That would be the best thing that we could ask for.
One of our supporters, Andalyn, she asked, and I also have this question, but can you tell us, I can take a guess of what the bill is, but can you tell us what Mica's Law is?
Or would be.
Or would be?
Yeah, there's a couple things that are in there. I don't have it all in memory, but I can do a couple touches on it.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically, so right now it's called the Coercive Control Bill. And that is saying that if you're in a relationship, it doesn't matter what gender you are. If you are being abused, as far as if your phone's being, or so none of this has passed. This is all what
Proposed.
it is said and what is proposed. Yes. So if your significant other takes your phone away and cuts off your credit cards and pins you up against the wall, but doesn't leave any bruises, then this bill will make sure that they get charged. So right now, if the cops get called because a spouse said that a married person called and said that their spouse abused them and pinned them up against the wall, and the police officers come and there's no bruise marks, they can't do anything.
Gotcha.
There's no physical evidence, physical proof, even though this person said this literally just happened. The law, in the law's eyes, they could be lying.
Gotcha.
So this bill will help solidify that and make sure that if you are in an abusive relationship, no matter the gender, you have rights and you will be covered and you are safe. A lot of people do not feel safe in their own marriages.
Oh, yeah.
And unfortunately, a lot of laws, if you're married, don't count. And I find that ridiculous.
Yeah. I know, especially in the South, too.
Yeah.
There's a huge problem with that.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So
if you
said,
look up the laws for South Carolina and things like that, look up what you can do in South Carolina on a Sunday.
Oh,
right. Yes.
Yeah,
in front of the courthouse.
Yeah.
Yes.
You could. That it says you could beat your wife on a Sunday on the courthouse steps.
As long as the twig is as thin as your thumb.
I didn't hear that one.
Yeah. I mean, it's blows my mind.
And that wasn't too long ago.
Laws need to be revised.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine that it is not getting a crazy amount of attention and pressure in the political sphere right now. I can't imagine.
Well, we already had a comment back on it from, I think from Mr. Rankin. I don't know his first name. I don't want to say any misinformation, but his last name is Rankin. And he is supposed to be the very top head person who could literally walk this bill through. And Miss Regina Ward had said in the family's press conference that he could do it. And he made his own statement saying that he hasn't seen it.
Wow.
One of our supporters, Shram, she's also our moderator. She makes a good point. With this bill, she said financial abuse, emotional abuse, spiritual abuse, and physical. So all of that will be in this. Hopefully we didn't get that
Yeah. If we can get it passed, if we can get it revised and edit, because the docket that's on there, so on the website, it shows Mica's list and everything allegedly that she had gone through. And then at the very top of that, on the tab, and the tab literally says Mica's Law. So if you click on the tab, the very top of it will show you the coercive control bill and what has been presented into the committee and the House of Judiciary. Under that is what we think needs to be revised and what needs to be added.
Excellent.
So you guys are learning all this legalese like on the fly. That's incredible. You know,
you shouldn't have to do that.
You shouldn't have to do it, but it just shows. I mean, whatever drive you guys have must run in the family.
Yeah.
I mean, because you got a website. I mean,
you're ready.
I mean, you are
take on the
full
world.
speed. You know,
it's only beginning.
I love that.
And someone, I don't know who the person was. I've been getting a lot of Facebook messages. And again, if you've messaged me on Facebook or any type of social media and I haven't responded, I'm sorry. Please do not take it personally. A lot is going on. I have a lot of people. And if you have reached out to the tip line, the Justice for Mica tips @gmail.com, if we don't reply back to you, just know it's been in the email. It will be seen eventually if we haven't seen it. And we do appreciate any information that you have given us. But sorry, I lost my train of thought.
No, you're fine.
The drive.
Yes.
The drive of making sure that everything is being taken care of. Someone had messaged me and said, I'm praying for strength for you and your family. Don't let this emotionally wear you out. Don't let it take you down. And I said, well, thank God my mom had 7 children, because if I get tired and I fall down, there's someone standing behind me.
I love that.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
The stance that I really like hope people see here, because it's obvious to us, is like, no matter what's going on, you and your family, you remain positive. You know, you're not bringing any negativity in it. And I mean, I know you're living that, but to outsiders, that is amazing to be able to do that.
Yeah.
And I know it's really tough to do that, but it is truly inspirational.
It's hard to not be selfish, because I lost my godmother as well last month. So I think it was 2 weeks after Mica had passed, I was talking with my godmother, and she said, you have to remember not to be selfish. Mica was not here for you. Mica was not here on this earth for you. And right now, she's with Jesus. She's with God. She's with any other family member that had come before us that had passed away, who we might not even have met. And right now she's asking Jesus about how he lived on earth. She's getting answers to questions that in this world she would never be able to answer until she passed away. So try not to be selfish and wish that she was here with you, because she's not worried about anything. She's happy. She's fine. She's okay. God's got her. She's literally in God's hands right now.
Yeah. And she's looking down on her little sister still every day.
Yeah. There's cardinals that fly in my backyard all the time.
Oh my gosh.
One actually landed on the chair behind me. I've never seen them come this close. And it scared me. And I was like, and then it looked at me and then immediately went away.
Wow.
I was like, okay.
That's incredible.
Nice little sign there.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
So going to the website and supporting, obviously we're in South Carolina, so we can write to our legislators and encourage them to do things that make sense. How else can people support you and your family in the cause? Have we missed anything?
Spreading her word, sharing the website. If you can't donate, please share where someone else that can see it can. Because if you share it and 2 people see it, then maybe 6 people see it, and it's all a trickle effect. If you can't donate, we understand, but at least share it, get the word out. If you are in the Myrtle Beach area or South Carolina area and you have the ability for printing and signs and things like that, feel free to reach out to me. we need help, we need support, and the support that we are getting, we really do appreciate it. People giving us meal trains when family was in town, and just spreading who Mica is. Again, I want everybody to see her face. I want everybody to know her name. I don't ever want anybody to think of anybody else when they think of Mica. I want them to think about Mica.
Well said.
That's incredible.
Well said.
You have a couple people in tears right now. I know you're not watching the live chat, but
this is just our I think our supporters that are watching live, and it's a lovely group, and they have sending lots of hearts and good vibes to you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm literally wanting. I know my mom's watching. Makes me want to just text my brother and be like, I love you, dude. You know?
Yeah. Time is never promised. And growing up, I never allowed anybody to say, I hate you or anything like that. And our family never did that anyways. And the Bible says, if you hate someone, you're killing them in your heart. And we've never wanted to hate anybody. We've never wanted to have that bitterness in our heart and that closed, hardened heart. And anytime any of our family members leave, no matter if they're going to the gas station to go check the mail, we say, okay, I love you, to make sure that they know if anything ever happens, you know I love you.
That's beautiful.
That's beautiful. So one of our supporters here, I'm just going to read this. She said, sorry if this may sound inappropriate, but how has your faith impacted your grieving? I imagine it's been very complicated, but has it mostly helped you get through this, your faith?
It's the only thing that's helped me get through this. The only thing. Because I know where Mica is.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what the physical correct terms or events of what may have occurred that day, no matter what, if it's labeled, I know she's with God. She rededicated her life again. She's rebaptized. She accepted Jesus into her heart. And I know where she is. God's the only thing keeping me through. I saw a meme the other day. I saved it. I may be hanging on to a string, but at least it's the string to his garment.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. And that's literally me. It's literally me. And my adult favorite memories are just worshiping God with Mica. All the time. We were on the worship team together. We led worship music together.
Mm-hmm.
It's a part of us. It's part of who we are. It's just constantly singing and praising God and thanking him for who we are and for our family and for the breath in our lungs. He's literally the breath in our lungs. He's why I am here.
Mm-hmm.
He woke me up. Mike is not here. But she's with him. So I can't be selfish. And I can't be like, oh, well, why? Why did this happen? Why am I just angry? Blah, 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 blah. I'm not even going to accept it. I'm not even going to let it cross my mind. I'm not going to let it try to deter me and distract me, because that's exactly what that is. It's a distraction. And that won't help. And I need to be firm in everything that I do. And the only way is to be firm foundation of Jesus Christ.
I could listen to you preach all day.
Yes.
I appreciate that.
That's beautiful. You're very well spoken. This is, I think, a very powerful interview, honestly.
Yeah. Very, very much appreciate it.
Lisa, hey Lisa, how you doing? Just joining. Where can we donate? Also, where can I get a shirt like you have on? And does your family get the proceeds from that? She said she just joined. So there is a website, www.justiceformica.com. Beautiful website. Was there earlier looking around. Beautiful.
we do have the people that are making the t-shirts and the necklaces and things like that. There are more memorabilia apparel coming out that will be later updated on the site as well. And those proceeds do come to the family. Things may change in costs because of manufacturers and things like that. Things get more expensive. These people are donating their time, and they also have different businesses. And two of our siblings, I have a small business, my other sister has a small business. So we want to show their work and support them in the community because they've definitely supported us. And Mica loved the community. Mica always wanted to support local businesses, small businesses, and things like that. So if you go to the www.justiceformica, there is a little tab that says trusted memorabilia. If you click on that, it'll have different URLs that you can click on. One's for the t-shirts. They are donating their time. If the cost changes, it's because the manufacturer costs have changed. Gotcha. It's not because anybody's getting a bigger portion or anything like that. The proceeds are coming to our family, the Francis family. The GoFundMe is organized by Ryan Williams. He is one of our sister's boyfriends. That is the current only ever GoFundMe that has been made. I know last month there was a fake one made, and it was made by a different organization. We had no idea who it was. And I was reporting it every hour, and I think it's still up. I've been messaging GoFundMe about it, but the one by Ryan Williams, organized on behalf of Sierra Francis, it should say that one does come to the family. None of those portions go to anybody else. It comes to our family, Mica's original family.
Yeah, and I'm sure all of this stuff. I mean, the support is needed, which is also like you guys have spent so much time throughout the years, like you said, helping small businesses and promoting and doing stuff like this. So now you get the karma coming back and, support you because now it's your time to be supported.
Prayerfully. And the Cash App and Venmo, that one's by Destiny Barrientos. That is our oldest sister.
Okay.
Even though she has a different last name, she was Destiny Francis. She is now Destiny Barrientos. That may change. But Destiny, period, is our sister. That money does come to the family.
Perfect.
Thank
you, Lisa says. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other final questions from the chat? Anything else that you can think of that you would like to share? Use this platform for?
Nope. Just keep the focus on Mica. I know that there's been a couple things that have come out, and I did receive a couple messages today and yesterday of people that were using Mica's name to profit for views and money and donations and things like that. People are going to do what they're going to do. Unfortunately, I can't stop them from doing anything. I can't mentally and emotionally be like, okay, well, why are they doing this? Because then the attention goes to them, and it all needs to stay on Mica. People are going to want to say whatever they want. They're going to, and I can't control that. I can't stop it. It's freedom of speech, basically, even though it is very unfortunate. And these people, for some reason, feel like they have a right to do so, or they have a right to know more information than what they know. Honestly, I feel like I have a right to know more information than anybody knows, and I still don't know.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, all the attention needs to be on Mica, not all these other little people, because they don't matter.
Jeez. So
agree
powerful. More. Yeah. Oh, wow. Well, I really, I mean, you have our chat in tears. I mean, this is, has been powerful for me too.
Yeah, absolutely. If there's anything else that we can do to help, say the word. We're neighbors.
Yeah,
not too far away.
Right down the road.
So at least we got that some local ability to help as well.
Yeah,
we can meet at the putt course.
Yeah.
So if you guys don't know Myrtle Beach,
which one? Yeah. And again, if anybody else has joined on that didn't hear me earlier, if you live in the area or in South Carolina or anything like that, and you have the resources and abilities to put flyers out in your town or in your community or anything like that, please do. I want her name. I want her face everywhere. I want to make sure that Mica doesn't disappear and it gets lost in the jumble of everybody else's life, because everyone has their own things going on. Everyone does. Life gets busy, things get overlooked, and this is way too important for it to just get lost in the jumble of the world and everything else that's going on with politics and things like that. So Mica's law, the coercive control bill, let's help get that passed and make sure that Mica doesn't get lost.
I love that. Well, thank you so much, Abigail. I mean, this has been an honor for Nicole and I.
Yes, thank you.
And
thank you for reaching out and allowing me to speak with you guys and even covering it, because some people are, some people aren't, and you guys are the ones that have. So I definitely appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and what she was talking about, we're going to be talking more tomorrow. Me and Abigail will be, hopefully. It's going to be very interesting. And like I said, you'll definitely want to check out the intro today if you've joined in the middle of the show. You'll definitely want to go check out the intro, because I have a special message and just some great episodes I wanted to share with you guys tonight. Now, when it comes to the property that the mega church is going, or was going to be built on, I want you guys to see how huge this property is, okay? Give me 1 second. I want you to see how huge this could happen. It could be a humongous oasis as a shelter. Check this out. You guys can see. So I'm going to go ahead and mute it because I'm just talking. This is when I went out to the land that the shelter, the mega church was going to be built. Look at how huge this area is. Okay, just look at the vast area that was cleared out. Now this was cleared out for the mega church. Okay, look at how huge this area is. Just look. I'm gonna go full screen for you. Give me 1 second. Look at how huge this area is. See where it's cleared out way back? Okay, look. From here, all the way back there. I mean, it's huge. It could happen, right? You never know. So I wanted to share that with everybody real quick, just to show, yeah, this is a huge property, right? And it's not being used now. It's not being used now, right? What would be the best way to honor Mica? Right here. This huge, what could be oasis. There could be palm trees and water fountains and, spa centers and all these different things. You could make it literally like its own little, how they have like the at the beach front, they have like that little amusement shopping center type thing. You know what? Give them some normalcy when they need to get away from danger. Give them, spas, give them, hairdressers, give them all of these different things that they weren't able to maybe even enjoy because of everything that they were going through. I think it could be a beautiful thing. I don't have the availability except for passion and, presence. All that other stuff, who knows what could happen. All I'm saying is this property right here, a huge, vast area for a woman's shelter. So then they can, you know what I mean? There's some kind of normalcy when you're going through that. Who knows? You never know. Maybe 5 years from now, we'll be looking at this property right here, and maybe we will see that. We don't know. But we can hope. A huge healing garden, right? A huge healing garden. Just imagine palm trees, water fountains, a little area that you can get your hair cut and go shopping and watch movies and do all the things. Just imagine. All right. Here is the Justice for Mica page. I'm going to share that with you guys real quick. That's right. Yeah. Right there. Right. They don't even, yeah. Imagine. Okay, here's this. Let me do this here. Justice for Mica website. You can go to donate. Mica's story. I mean, it's a beautiful website. Very beautiful website. So here's the link for it one more time. Also, when it comes to this is the real one. You can see Sierra Francis in the 2632. Also, you can go to Justice for Mica and click on donate, and you can also donate as well. All right. Now, there's one more video I'm gonna show real quick before we end the evening. What time tomorrow? I saw somebody say what time tomorrow. Hold on. What time tomorrow for what, Grace? For the deep dive? Not too sure yet. Oh, here's the link again. Now we're going to check out this episode here. This is an episode from Tough Topic, and it's an episode about the backtracks and shows proof of her delusion and mental state. Now, we checked it out earlier. Whoa. We checked it out earlier in the show. Unfortunately, me and the whole team were blocked for some reason. Don't know why. So we checked it out on Robbie Harvey's video earlier. This is Tough Topic. And this is, their video about it.
But on March 11th, something happened that kind of forever changed the course of our lives. And she went really deep into the schizophrenia and was delusional and accusing me of certain things, slashing tires or sending a naked picture or stalking her, or things like that I didn't do. And
I'll show you the pictures.
Do you want to go to jail?
They'll be on Facebook in a few hours.
Alrighty, you'll be in jail in a few hours.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, Tough Topic. My name is Brittany. I hope everyone is enjoying their day. So JP Miller is not done showing his proof of lies that Mica's family has told, and also clearing up the misconceptions about his marriage. So in this recent video that was posted to True Crime Rye, he starts explaining all the illnesses that Mica had, including bipolar disorder and schizophrenia, and he says that she was delusional. He then says that she started accusing him of certain things like stalking her, slashing her tires, or uploading a nude pic to the internet. Things I didn't do, he says. He then says that on March 13th, he noticed a beautiful woman in a car that he didn't recognize, and he then realized that it was Mica recording him. He also says that there was an Apple AirTag in his truck placed there by Mica. He says he then pulls out his phone and starts recording her record him. Now, in the past, he does say that he would record their disagreements for his protection. He says that despite all of that, they got...
Could that be him recording her because she was already recording him because he was following her? and that's why she's pulled over on the side, what looks to be, I don't know, maybe a gas station or something, and maybe he was just trying to pull over at the gas station to make it seem like he wasn't following her, and that he was just in the area and had to get gas. I don't know. Maybe.
Got through it. Even
That's why I want to talk to you, man. I want to hear your side.
in the midst of her delusion, he says that he would play along with it sometimes and pretend that he was this double agent, and he would even make fake emails to an agency and pretend to resign. And he says that that would help her take her meds, and that's all she had to do really was take her meds and enjoy her life. So here is where JP messed up with this entire video. Number one, not taking ownership and admitting his wrongdoing. He was on film threatening to leak a topless photo of Mica at the dealership, but instead he denies it even after he has already issued an apology to News Nation. In that apology, it states, "I'm sorry for putting a picture of you on the internet. It was far less than 1 hour and immediately taken down. I was hurt that you were telling everyone horrible, intimate details of my past sin, and I just wanted to try to hurt you. Please forgive me. It was evil of me to do that." And what was the reason Mica had to place the air tag? Like, there is a lot of this story that's not been shared. And unfortunately, Mica is not here to do that. And
right there. Look. Right there. Hello. Hello. Right? Right, detective? Hello? Hello?
And what was the reason Mica had to place the air tag? Like, there is a lot of this story that's not been shared. And unfortunately, Mica is not here to tell her side or to defend herself. He could have just left those details in the vault if all he was going to do was to gaslight us. But I want to know what you all think of this. I mean, let's say Mica did have this mental illness. She was bipolar, all of that. How?
So, and like we covered this in the beginning of the show, we went through this conversation after the intro. Like I said, if you just joined, definitely check out the intro. There's a special message. There's something that's going to be coming up soon. I want you guys to be aware. And also, we kind of covered different parts, whether it's JP talking, the Nathan Brewer messages, and also Chris Skinner. Definitely, the whole episode is just a lot of awareness for everybody, especially Mica, especially Chris, and Mica's sister too, Abigail. I want to say thank you to her for everything that she's doing as well. I want to say thank you. I'm not sure what time we're going to do it. I'm still waiting to hear back from Rosie, but it'll probably be sometime in the morning, late morning area, early afternoon. So look for us tomorrow. We weren't able to start our deep dive on the whole timeline, the videos, the alibis, every single bit. We're going to be doing a deep dive on everything. We're going to be analyzing it all for you guys on the fly, live, breaking it down in different categories, different sections. And it's going to be me and Rosie analyzing it together with my criminal mind here and her forensic background. So definitely check that out. Come hang out with us. Episode 1, going to be multi-part series. And we're going to be starting that tomorrow. I can't wait to see you guys. Hopefully you have a peaceful and positive evening. Thanks for being here with us. And we will see you tomorrow. I can't wait. Thank you, everybody.